Darius Flowers checking in with you from Don Riddler's field house, where we're going to see the Women Blue Devils face off against Rochester Christian University.
Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2. Welcome everybody to the Don Riddler Fieldhouse, where it is basketball action, college basketball to be exact. College basketball on a Saturday afternoon. Stay warm out there. The winter is coming.
Fourth and inches, 4th and 10, or 4th and a fighting chance. At Henry Ford Health, we go for it. We go for it for our patients, teammates, friends, and family. In the labs, hospitals, clinics, and partnerships all around the state. We go for it for the millions of people who deserve a better quality of life. We go for it because we have to. It's who we are. We are Henry.
At Michigan First Mortgage, we believe a home is more than just four walls. It's endless possibilities, where relationships are strengthened and next steps are taken. It's a place to call your very own, where you can create new traditions and welcome family with open arms. And at Michigan First, it's at the heart of everything we do. Let us help you discover the possibilities of home.
The value of champions of character across all institutions is a message that we can all get behind.
The purpose behind Champions of Character is to have that student-athlete experience be one of growth.
Men's basketball on campus, we make sure that we give back with a smile and with a purpose.
Our goal as coaches is for our players to leave being better men, better husbands, better fathers, and better members in their community.
NAIA is Champions of Character.
From our very first breath, curiosity is why we question everything through barrages of whys and how comes. It now needs the tools to will its vision into existence. Tools that will forever allow curiosity to obscure the line between technology and magic. Be curious. Make magic. Lawrence Technological University.
What I've learned the most from golf is to have integrity in everything you say and do.
One of the biggest lessons of that sports impacts my daily life is discipline.
Be a champion of character, it just means to realize first that you're a part of something that's bigger than yourself.
Being a part of NAIA is something that I'm going to keep with me forever because it's not only made me a better athlete, but it's made me a better person.
The NAIA really just cares about their student athletes and just the experience in general at the school, and I think that's really important.
The NAIA stands for, has great core values. One that's most important to me is servant leadership. Being able to serve your community is a huge reason why I chose the NAIA.
I am a champion of character. I am a champion of character.
I am a champion of character.
I am a champion of character.
I am a champion of character.
If your workload requires strength and durability, Silverado from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers will have your back, handling everything you need to bring your unique vision to life. When the job calls for the best, Silverado is the hard-working pickup that means business. Lease a 2024 Silverado Crew Cab LT for just $319 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Okay. So is this good for right now?
We'll wait until you're done.
Good afternoon, welcome to the Don Riddler Fieldhouse for today's conference game against Rochester Christian. In conjunction with the NAIA's Champion Character Initiative, we will bring the athletic conference to make great process on the folks, teams, coaches, officials, and spectators. We encourage the training of your team, building spirit and sportsmanship, kept in mind. Abusive language toward officials and players will not be tolerated. Game can result in ejection from the facility. At this time, I ask that you please rise for the playing of the national anthem. Let's meet the starters for Rochester Christian. A 5'8" freshman guard, number 5 from Los Angeles. A 5'6" sophomore guard, number 10, Sean Baker. A 6'1" sophomore freshman, number 11, Jason Summers. A 5'7" junior guard, number 15, Ashley Miller. One of the starters is a 6' junior guard, number 34, the head coach of Rochester is Jared Campbell, and his assistant is Steve Levin, Jim Rogers, Warren Lynn, and Leon Campbell. Now, let's meet your starters for your Blue Devils. The 5'9" freshman guard from Albion, Michigan, number 5, Alex Long. The 5'5" junior guard from Warsaw, Indiana, number 15, Bailey Stevens. A 5'6" senior guard from Montrose, Ohio, number 22, Megan Long. 6' senior guard from Grand Rapids, Michigan, number 23, Liz Suzuki. Finding out the starters from the 5'10" senior guard from Michigan, number 34, Andy Ware. They will never get the game tonight. Assistants from David Green and Andrew.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Don Rittler's Field House, where the Lady Blue Devils are about to take on the Rochester Christian University Warriors. The starting fives for LTU today is going to be Maddox Locke, Maggie Long, Abby Ray, Liv Sadecki, Bailey Stevens. And on the RCU side, it's going to be J.C. Sommers, who just missed that last shot. Maggie Long pushing it up the floor. I'll go back into RCU's starting lineup in a second. Abby Ray has it at the top, passes it down to Maggie Long. She faces up, comes outside to Bailey Stevens, passes it out to Abby Ray, driving to the paint, and that is blocked by J.C. Sommers.
Yeah, beautiful block right there by J.C. Sommers. Read that just right. Kept the space just right as Abby Ray was just driving down that baseline. Clean your block. You can do it any better than that.
That was a good attempt by Liv Sadecki. She was able to miss it, but the Blue Devils get the ball going back down the floor. Pass up top to Maggie Long, out to Stevens. To the mid-post for Sadecki. Ray's going to the basket. Tries to flip it out to Locke, but there's a miscommunication, and that's a turnover for LTU.
And that's the unfortunate mishaps of all year for Lawrence Tech. Those passes, the miscommunication, you would think this deep in the season they would be able to correct those mistakes because that's a good open look, but yet a bad pass. They've had their good looks throughout most of the year, but yet the passing has been their main Achilles heel.
Passed up top to Moore. Moore throws it off to the wing. There Sadecki is hounding inside to Moore. She gets called for a travel going back towards LTU's way.
Yeah, just like the good look by Lawrence Tech. Rochester Christian on the other side with Melanie Moore. She was looking for that backside cut, but yet her feet just kept moving too much before she could try to get a pass off.
The three keys for LTU, when I spoke to Coach Page right before the game, is value the ball, limit the turnovers. Last time they faced off against RCU, they gave up 34 points off turnovers, and they want to limit that.
Yeah,
that's a good basket there by Liv Sadecki.
You said it right there, just points off of turnovers. This team is winning the top of the conference in turnovers per game, and then also with points off of turnovers per game.
That was good defense, and now Bailey Stevens is taking it up the floor, passes it out to Maddox Locke, going to the basket with a right hand, creates space, and one. She gets called for a travel, taking one too many steps that goes back towards RCU's way.
Yeah, and just one of those steps right there. The simple stuff of basketball, not only just securing the basketball, but also making sure your feet are in sync with your dribbling. And with that time blocked, she just was too many steps ahead.
The other two keys to this game, there goes our first basket for RCU. That was number 11, J.C. Sommers. Good break of the press for Abby Ray to shoot a three. She misses that one. It's a rebound by Simone Andrews going down the floor. I thought that he might have called that a charge. It looked like Bailey Stevens was in the right position to get a charge call.
Yeah, but right there at the last second, you saw Stevens, her feet kind of backpedaled a bit on contact. She has to have her feet fully planted, stand still in order to take the contact for that charge to be called. So I think that's a pretty good call by the official. But going back to that three-pointer by J.C. Sommers, first the great block earlier, and then just creating enough space, just be able to shoot that three ball top of the key.
Simone Andrews at the free throw line. She knocks down her first one. This year, she's averaging 13 points a game. She leads the team in points, 5 rebounds. She also leads her team in shot attempts and makes as well. Bailey, there goes a turnover going back down RCU's way. Has to find somebody else. Goes up top to Andrews, and she makes a mid-range pull-up. A big thing I talked about with RCU's head coach before the game, he said that we're going to try to pressure the ball as much as we can, and this is exactly what you see that they're doing. Every time off of make, they're pressing in the backcourt.
Exactly. Full court press, and we got a jump ball right here, but the full court press, that's one thing Lawrence Tech has dealt with a lot of these teams within the WAC this year, and they've had trouble and via the passing because they're forced to pass at an elite level, overhead, good bounce passes, just quick chest passes as they try to work their way down the court. But yet the full court press has gone against them so many times and therefore leading to points off of turnovers.
The LTU Blue Devils average 18 turnovers a game this year, and that's a good one from deep. For Kate Jacobs. Going back door. That was a really impressive pass that she was looking to get out to Sommers.
Oh, good open look pass on the backside drive. They had a double team set up inside the paint, but yeah, good open look, just a bad pass. But Kate Jacobs not normally known for shooting the three ball, as they try to work her down in post.
I love to see when they can break that press open for a three. That's Maggie Long to give the lead back to LTU at 8-6.
No, that's just Maggie Long just pulling up, shooting the classic three, and there's a good jumper.
That was made by Simone Andrews. That's her second basket from the mid-range already to start this game. Maddox-Lock passes it ahead, and that is great makeup defense by Ashley Loon. Out on the break, Andrews again from mid-range. That one rolls out.
Kind of rushed it a bit. Had some time to probably set up an offensive play, but yet Andrews feeling lucky. Once you got that hot hand, it's kind of hard to stop yourself when you want to make a good shot.
It was a foul called. They're going to take it out under the basket for LTU. Liv Linden is going to take it out under the basket. Over the top to Kate Jacobs. Finds Reese Williams going to the basket, throws it out for Maddox Locke for the three. She misses that one. Unfortunately, Maggie Long was looking like she was going to go save that one, but kind of ran out of room.
That's been one of their classic out of bounds, inbound plays from underneath. They want to go out to the perimeters because they realize that most of their opponents, they really crowd up the inside of the paint because they know that they have Kate Jacobs down there to try to use her size to the advantage.
Coming down the floor. Passed off to the wing. Back up top to Moore. Downtown, that was a shot attempt by Andrews. Good offensive rebound, and another one by Bakar. Going to the basket, right-hand layup. And that's going to be a charge call. And good defensive awareness by Liv Linden there to pick up that charge call.
Feet totally planted. They had Shahad Bakar going in on a drive. She was looking for a contact foul, but yet an extra pass going for the easy bucket.
And that's going to be our first media timeout. We'll be back after this one. Inbound play for the Blue Devils, breaking that press inside to Kate Jacobs. That is a beautiful save by Angelina Hashah. Going back down the floor, right through the middle of the defense. That is a miss by Jordan Peterson for LTU to go back down the floor. Maggie Long out to Kate Jacobs for three. Bang! That
Great
puts
look.
them up by 3, 11-8, 4:42 here remaining.
No, it's a great look. And like I said, Jacobs is not normally a three-point shooter, but yet she will take the shot if she has the space. And she can make a couple per game.
She tries to get back those 3 points there by Ashley Loom, but unfortunately that was a miss. Maggie Long coming down the floor, pass up top to Reese Williams, over to Liv Linden. She's calling for the screen to go to Kate Jacobs, goes away from the screen, out to Abby Ray. Kate gets it, gives it back off to Abby Ray. She spins inside, great defense. They miss Maggie Long there on the backdoor cut. Liv Linden going all the way to the basket, probably gets an and one, but doesn't get the foul call. 13-8.
No, it's great cut. You know, they were playing widespread around the arc, person to person. They really closed the gaps on those potential drives, and you were right. They did miss Maggie Long on a good cut.
RCU's passing it around the horn, trying to find a matchup that's favorable. A pull up from mid-range. That was by Bakar. That one goes out of bounds, and LTU gets the ball back. 3:09 here remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, both sides are mainly going man-to-man defense. They're trying to just keep the windows of opportunity tight, but yet they're going about midcourt full press instead of full court.
I like the 1-2-2 press and how they have it set up. The First Lady, and there goes the turnover, exactly what they were talking about, not doing a lot of. RCU almost turns it over themselves, going to the basket. That is I thought they were going to call that a travel before that they called it a, I thought they were going to call that a charge.
You're okay, partner.
They called that a travel.
It could have gone either way because high contact with ball control, it can go either way in terms of how they want to call it. But here we go. This is where Lawrence Tech needs to pass at an elite level, and these are really unorthodox passing. But there you go. It results in a bucket.
That was a beautiful break of the press. Simple passing. They were able to get it over the top to Maddox Lock. She was able to make a move to go right to the basket and score. Maddox Lock all the way to the basket. She passes off to Robinson, a right-hand layup, 15-8. And RCU needs a timeout for LTU. 17-8 with 2:22 here remaining.
Quick 30-second timeout, but no, these two breakaways are definitely what Lawrence Tech needed in order to go ahead by a couple of buckets and nearly up by 10. So no, this is what Lawrence Tech needed, an offense that really struggles in terms of passing the ball, especially dealing with full court and half court presses. And the fact that they've been able to get their passes through, not cleanly though, but yet still results in buckets, and then able to get a turnover of their own and then result to a points off turnovers. It's really going to be, between these two teams being at the bottom end of the conference right now, it is going to be who gets the most points off of turnovers really that decides this game.
And the turnover battle already is 6-6. So both teams have already turned the ball over kind of a high amount for just 8 minutes of play so far.
Yeah, like I said, Lawrence Tech, one of the top teams in terms of turnovers per game. Rochester, not that far behind.
Good inside pass. Swinging it around. Going down to the middle to her left hand. She misses the pass. Up top to 22. Killenberger. Deep shots from Summers. Robinson passes it to the corner for three. Ella Hooper. And then JC Summers is able to come back down and get her own 3 points back. Risky pass, and Maddox Lock passes it up top to Kate Jacobs. And that was a big miscommunication. I don't know if she was trying to pass it back or if she was trying to put it up for a basket.
Yeah, that pass to Kate Jacobs, it almost looked like an alley-oop type style play, which I think Jacobs, with her height, she could have easily jumped up, grabbed it, and put it off the backboard in. But no, she went for another pass to Maddox Locke. But then Locke almost looked like she tripped on her landing and then was trying to pass it out, or else she would have been called for a travel.
Andrews has the ball, passes it off to Rodriguez. Look at the handle on her, going all the way to the basket on the left side. That was Rodriguez. Across court to Ella Hooper again. Takes 2 dribbles to pull up from the mid-range to give them a 22-11 lead.
Ella Hopper, a hot hand early on. This is the amount of offense in which Lawrence Tech needs to really keep building upon with an 11-point lead here early in the first half.
This is a very important play right here because they can get a 2-for-1 if they possibly shoot early. Enough in the clock, and that is a turnover by RCU to go back to LTU's way. LTU will now have the ball with no shot clock. That's a very important to
Even
end
early
this
on.
quarter.
Yeah, you said it right there, partner, early on, first quarter. And it's important to have these late possessions, no matter what quarter it is, you got to have last possession, especially if you're ahead.
Good inside pass to Liv. Sadecki going up with the right hand. They're trying to trap in the backcourt. Summers going to with a right hand, and she misses that. Sadecki gets it out to Locke. Locke gives it to Ray. Ray heaves it. Does not make it there. And that is a first quarter in of 24-11 LTU. I'm Kadarius Flowers along with John Snow. We'll be back in the second quarter. And we are back for the second quarter of the LTU Blue Devils versus the RCU Warriors. And that first quarter was very impressive for LTU as they led a 24-11 first quarter. And now they're here after getting a steal on the first possession by RCU. Pass off to Hooper. They call that a travel. She tried to go over the head and maybe took a few too many steps when trying to go to the basket.
Yeah, that's too many steps. But also, in terms of timing of that pass, it needs to be sooner. Like, you can try to pull a fake and try to drive to the basket, but yet you have such a tight window, you got to make up your mind sooner than later.
I really want to credit the defense at the top by Robinson and Locke and how they were able to defend that and absolutely not give up the entry pass that they wanted. That was a miss by LTU going back down RCU's way. Fall away shot there by number 21, Emily Lockey. Abby Ray going down the middle with a right-hand layup. She misses that. Locke picks up the ball with the right-hand layup, gives them a bigger lead of 26-11.
Yeah, back-to-back possessions for both teams in which they should have just pulled out and really set up the offense, but no, they were rushing their shots. But right there was Maddox Locke, able to get behind, pick up her teammates, and able to get that bucket.
I like to give a lot of credit to Locke. She is such a good defender. That was a big layup made there by, is that number 15? Ashley Loon. I really like to give a lot of credit to Locke because she's always a big piece on the floor that's going to give you some scoring, some rebounding, some steals, and everything else around. Hooper pass it back out to Robinson. She has to go back out and get it. Looking for a screen. Down to 7 seconds. Up top to Sadecki. Step back. Right-hand jumper. That one misses. Picked up by Summers coming up the court. Going to the left hand. Pick up. Right-hand layup. That misses. Robinson kind of misses it, but she's able to get on the floor. Locke gets it, pushing up the floor. She has numbers. 3-on-3 going. Left-hand layup through the double team to give them 28-13.
Beautiful Euro step right for the double team. Almost looked like she put on a little bit of a fake pass because she had an open wide shooter. And speaking of open shooting,
one thing I will say about Andrew, she's been able to get to that mid-range pull-up multiple times. Even if she's not making it, every time that she gets it, she has to shoot that shot.
exactly, all the kind of space on that open wing. You have that space, and if you're at the elite level right here, you got to take those open chances.
Great pickup steal by Andrews, and it's a 2-on-1, a right-hand layup. That's a foul. And I don't even understand why Robinson fouled her there. She should have just gave up the layup. Now she gives up an N1 opportunity.
Yeah, you're right there. I mean, that foul was basically, it shouldn't have happened. I mean, Andrews had a clear lane, and Robinson trying to hustle back on defense, but still, there's certain points as a player out there, you got to realize it's not worth it to try to foul, especially early on. When you have a lead, it's just plays like that in which can easily help the opposition get back within it.
100%, like you said, it can help the opposition. You can't give them just the slightest bit of gusto that they need. Momentum is the word I was looking for.
No, you're right there. Because even though it's 1 point, but yeah, it's 1 point closer.
Liv Linden coming up the floor, looking for the screen from Moreland Jones. Out to Moreland Jones. She does a right jab. She comes out. Stevens over to the corner for Maggie Long from deep. 31-16, 6:23 here remaining. Coming all the way down the court for another mid-range shot is Andrews. She chases out back her own rebound. Comes off the screen, looking for somebody to go to. Goes up top, inside to 23, Killenberger, but she gets called for a travel. Now it's back LTU's way.
Yeah, another turnover right there. That's like the third traveling call that's been called against Rochester Christian. It just seems like they've been rushing everything. They've not been able to set up an offensive play. They've been just trying to rush back in to try to get all the deficit back all at once.
To point out, the turnover battle currently is 10-9 LTU's way.
And so far, go ahead. So far, Lawrence Tech's been able to take advantage of all the turnovers so far.
Great pickup by Maggie Long, but the ball is definitely going to get called back the other way of LTU's side. Moreland Jones is down.
Looks like she took a nasty hit near by the face.
We're going to take a quick break here while we see what's going on court. And we are back. Moreland Jones just went out of the game. I think she may just have gotten hit in the face.
Yeah, because when two players went up for the rebound, one of them kind of like got tangled up and then just out of recoil of the backhand. And Lachelle Moreland Jones just unfortunately was on the receiving end of that.
Inbound. Up top to Lowry, going up with the left hand basket. And the entire RCU bench went wild after she made that and one opportunity shot.
Yeah, but unfortunately the hardwood court is not forgiving on the landing. Carmen Lowry. And she's a little bit slow to get up, but still it's the second blocking call against Lawrence Tech. And by that time, Lowry was able to get up and right before Liv Linden was able to fully set her feet. So therefore, midair with possession of the ball, that's going to be a block every time.
To point out some things for RCU, there's a big difference in the field goal percentage right now. LTU is shooting 63%, while RCU is only shooting 27%.
And the point being is that Rochester Christian, they are rushing all their shots. And you see a lot with Simone Andrews. She's trying to push the floor up and able to get those quick jumper shots in, but still, she's pressing everything. They're rushing all these offense. They're trying to move quickly in transition, but yet it's not working in their favor. They're trying to cut back into this deficit all at once, but they've got to slow things down, recalibrate on offense, and make their shots count. And for Lawrence Tech, they're shooting at a high level because they're able to get their feet set. They're able to find the open looks and just feel comfortable with themselves shooting from three-point range and also mid-range.
To mention how fast they do play, their coach before the game told me that that's the ideal of their offense, is to play up-tempo as possible. Their offense is their defense, virtually. In the half court, they like to play a Princeton-style offense, but they like to get out on the break and be able to push as much as they can. That's why they play such aggressive defense. Right-hand layup for Kate Jacobs to give them a lead of 33-18.
That's just Kate Jacobs working good in the high post, right in front of the block. Went for the hook shot after she picked up her dribble, did a few 360s.
Big pickoff by Liv Linden coming down the court, passes to Kate Jacobs, and that is a turnover.
It was a good look, but a bad pass. You need that height because Kate Jacobs at 6'3". You need a little lob pass, almost like a little alley-oop. You need that pass right there because Kate Jacobs catch, one step, lay in.
And we're going to take the second media time out of the second quarter, and we'll be back after this. And we are back after the media timeout. That is a turnover by RCU. That pass was going from Bakar over to Summers. and it was just a miscommunication.
Not really how you want to start out after a timeout. It's basically what Lawrence Tech has been dealing with most of the year. Just simple passing. It's just been a hard thing to deal with.
I really want to give credit right now to Summers with the type of defense that she's playing against Kate Jacobs. She's really forcing – I'm sorry, no, that's not Summers. I'm sorry. That's Killenberger. I'm sorry.
No,
Killenberger, the defense that she was playing on Kate Jacobs, she's not letting Kate Jacobs get a comfortable spot in the gray area. She's forcing her out, making her catch it at the free throw line where she's not as comfortable.
Exactly, and as a result, a 3-second violation on Jacobs when she held on possession too long.
Oh, that was good ball movement from the corner. That was a good shot. Good offensive rebound. Good another offensive rebound. 3 offensive rebounds. And they finally get the foul call. That was an offensive rebound there by Bakar. The last one was by Killenberger and by number 21, Lockie. 3 offensive rebounds on 1 possession. You have to make a shot.
I mean, that you can't see better rebounding than that. 3 straight, and just to keep possession alive, that's already huge for any side. But in the case of Rochester Christian, that's what they need for that possession right there. That one just missed off. But still, the fact that 3 straight rebounds is already hard enough. But yet offensively, able to keep possession, you're down by this deficit. You need those rebounds at crucial times. As she goes 0 for 2.
The rebounding battle currently is LTU's way 20-11. So they're out rebounding them by almost 10 rebounds, which is always a recipe to win a game. Bailey Stevens out to Locke, out to Sadecki. Killenberger almost flies by her, going all the way to the basket. She misses that. It's pushed down the floor by Bakar. Bakar gets it back up top. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Lowry is getting hounded by Locke. She does not know where to go with it. Good deflection by Locke, going all the way to the basket. Bakar with the right hand, and it rolls in.
Yeah, the lucky roll.
33-20 LTU.
That's what you call the lucky roll right there. You just throw it up for grabs. It probably got tipped. That ball had a lot of spin. Could have easily rolled out. But that's just one bucket right there. And good defense.
Good defense by Bakar. Somehow Bailey Stevens is able to get off of the floor. Abby Ray going to the right-hand layup. She picks up an and one opportunity. Actually, she did not make that. So she's going to the line for 2 free throws at the hands of Alina Killenberger.
One thing that Rochester Christian has done very well, they've been protecting the paint very well. They have not allowed many open chances. Even though there were a few, Lawrence Tech were not able to capitalize. They have done so well keeping Lawrence Tech outside of the paint, primarily so much perimeter, but yet the Blue Devils have been able to do that shooting-wise, shooting at 58% right now, and we're almost done with this first half.
Credit to LTU. They have 5 3-pointers made. They average 7 a game. And Abby Ray goes 1 of 1 from the free throw line.
Most of the 3-pointers courtesy of Maggie Long, but yet you get Kate Jacobs in the miss, and then Ella Hopper and Newcomer freshman. That's just good shooting right there at an elite level.
That's a great backdoor help for Robinson. I know you were saying that they weren't getting up a lot of good shots, but here in the second quarter, they've gotten a lot of good shots. They just haven't been able to make them. They've been a lot like that one. Either they roll around or they just haven't been able to make shots. Even with Andrews, how she's gotten to the mid-range. She's gotten to her shots. She just hasn't been able to make them.
Yeah, and out of that last media timeout, it looks like they slowed down their game. You know, before they were just rushing everything, but now they're getting open looks.
And see, that was a perfect driving kick. And finally, they get a shot that was Ashley Loon to cut the score down to 34-22. Out to Abby Ray from deep. Bang! 37-22. 1:58 here remaining. RCU really has to play the next 2 minutes very smartly if they want to be able to keep themselves into it before the half. Bakar went to the basket, was able to get her own offensive rebound, giving it back out to Ashley Loon, who thought the pass was, who thought it was out on herself.
It could have gone either way. It looked like it was last touch by Rochester Christian, but they take Kate Jacobs' last touch in terms of trying to go for a block.
Great defense by Kate Jacobs, and she was able to get out on a break fast, get her woman sealed off. And they should have been looking inside. Right after she forced that steal, she sprinted down the right side of the floor and was able to seal her woman defender off right in the middle. But they weren't able to get her the ball.
No, you're right there. They had that open look inside the paint. Haven't had many good looks inside the paint all day. That's just the Warriors' defense keeping them outside perimeter.
Robinson gets the ball up top, goes off the screen to Kate Jacobs, passes out to Herpert. She wasn't able to catch that one. Makes it a turnover. 37-22, 1:22 here remaining.
No, just another bad pass. I mean, even though it was within the vicinity of catchability, you still got to make it decent enough. You know, that should have been just simple chest pass and simple catch. Just got to keep things basic in terms of just trying to control the basketball. And that's just been what Lawrence Tech has been dealing with all year.
Andrews back in the game. That was a great pickoff. Abby Ray down the floor. Right-hand layup. She picks up the foul call, but if she didn't, that was going to be a made basket right there by Sierra Robinson, who was able to be on the break with Abby Ray. Great steal. She was able to read that as if she was a cornerback in football and literally just came right over the top of the route, was able to pick it off and go all the way down to the basket.
That's just being alert. Abby Ray just being alert, reading the eyes of the point guard coming up the floor. Quick steal, and probably could have dumped it off to Robinson, realizing that she had her defender way out in front, like waiting on that block. And she could have easily dumped it off, but yet decided to go up, get the contact, and only go 1 for 2 from free throw line.
RCU bringing it down the floor. Andrews up top, trying to get it off, gets it to Rodriguez. Passing it around, back to Rodriguez. She finds the space to go up with the left hand to cut the lead to 38-24. Liv Linden coming down the floor. They have to play these next 43 seconds here smart to get a 2 for 1. Abby going to the ball. Maddox Lock with the left hand. She picks up a foul, which puts the clock at 34.9 seconds. So that means it will only be 4.9 seconds of the shot without the shot clock. They have to decide what they're going to do and how they're going to defend the last piece.
So after the officials talked it over, they claimed it as a foul right before the shot attempt. So they reversed the decision, and this is going to be an inbound play. It's definitely close enough, but the whistle was definitely right at the shot attempt.
That was great defense, leaping up by Lowry. Inbound to Kate Jacobs, back out to Liv Linden, pulls it out. 17 seconds on the clock. Kate Jacobs from deep to give them a 41-24 lead. The shot clock is now turned off. 20 seconds and going down. Liv Linden is guarding the ball up top, going against Andrews. Pass off to the Kate Jacobs, was about to take off and get herself an easy layup on the other end of the floor. They were trying to get it out to Rodriguez, but couldn't.
Now it's Lawrence Tech's turn to play some hard-nosed defense to keep the inside of the paint well clean. Just keep them outside perimeter, really force them to shoot.
Liv Linden up on the ball against Andrews. To the middle of the floor. That was great defense by Abby Ray, but she was able to get up a shot. J.C. Sommers right before the buzzer. 41-26. LTU came out and absolutely stunned here at the second quarter.
No, definitely. This is probably the best offensive showing that Lawrence Tech has put together all year. And this late in the year, even though they probably don't have a chance to make it into the WAC championship tournament, but still, they've got a lot to learn. They've got a lot to gain, and that is experience, time, and just better at their craft. But yet, that last shot by Rochester Christian and Somers, they basically got themselves a little more momentum going into the second half.
They average 62 points, and they already have 41 here in the first half. I'm Kadarius Flowers. This is John Snow, and we'll be back after halftime. And we are back for the second half of the LTU versus RCU WAC matchup. And LTU is looking to dominate this one off to an early lead. They finished the first half 41-26. Now here in the second half.
No, they started out strong and they hope to keep it going.
Maggie Long out to Abby Ray. Abby Ray going up with her right hand. She misses that. Did she touch it last? She did, and it's going to go to RCU's way.
Yeah, the official there in the baseline was looking for help on that one because it looked like he might have been blinded by one of the players in front.
Bakar going back door. Yo, beautiful back door by Melanie Moore.
That's the first really open look in which they've had all day. And that's just what Rochester Christian needed in order to get off to a hot start.
Bailey Stevens had a really good look at the basket, was able to miss there. 2-on-1 on the fast break. She does not make the easy one. That was Shahad Bakar.
Yeah, for Bakar, it was a good open look. I think Rochester Christian, they had an open look in transition about halfway down the floor, and it was probably for an easier chance, but still, they kept the eyes open, eyes up on the court, and it's a good look, and it results in points being made.
She's shooting. Makes her first one. She goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line. That was her first 2 points of the game and her first opportunity to go to the free throw line.
Right now, Rochester Christian, they're coming out with a lot of fire, and it just seems like this team is more attentive. They're more willing to pressure, and they were able to keep the ball out of play. But now they're going 1-3-1 setup in terms of traps. At that time they did half court. They're making this passing very difficult for Lawrence Tech.
Good steal on the break. Pass it up to Bakar. Great defense by Abby Ray to get back and poke it out before she could take up the layup without fouling.
That's key. The fact that she was able to beat her to the spot right there on the block. Before the hands could get up with the basketball, she just goes in there for the swipe.
Liv Linden has checked in, and Kate Jacobs also has checked in for LTU. Going up top to Summers for 3. Boom. 41-33. They're keeping this game as close as they can. Great cross-court pass up to Maggie Long. Pump fake left hand. That's a block. Kate Jacobs gets the rebound and goes up with the right hand.
I don't think that was really a pass. I think Maggie Long was trying to go for the bucket right there because Maddox Locke, she had a clear lane for a layup, but instead elects to try to pass it off. But still, great pickup there by Kate Jacobs.
That's another great backdoor cut from Melanie Moore. Abby Ray gets ripped by Bakar. She passes it out to Andrew. She misses a mid-range basket. Offensive rebound by Loon. Back out to Bakar. Pass out to Andrews. Over the top to Melanie Moore, and she is getting a trip to the free throw line. Liv Linden was on her back there.
Yeah, Liv Linden is going to be her second foul because at that time when she came up and jumped, her arms came fully forward instead of keeping them straight up, like she was trying to go for the block, but yet probably could have held back a bit more. But still, it was a good look by Moore, able to create that space, that loft pass. Is designed to get it over the tallest opponent, that being Kate Jacobs at 6'3". Melanie Moore only at 6 foot. But still, the dump off pass over the tall opponent, able to leave that lane wide open inside the paint.
Moore makes her first free throw. LTU just did something you don't see very often. They did a whole 5 swap out. So a whole new 5 is on the floor for LTU.
They've been going basically in bunches of 4 most of the game. For Paige Wright, she's been trying to get most offensive weapons out there at a time.
That was a miss by Herpert. And that was a foul call, but if I'm being honest, I don't think that was on
Well, they're gonna get Sidlecki on that. Even though 2 Rochester players went up for it, Sidlecki was trying to get her arm in there to try to get a piece of the ball. So the officials thought the outside interference was the foul called.
Bakar passed it off to the wing, back up to Moore. Andrews from deep. She misses that one. Moreland Jones comes up with a rebound, going coast to coast, attacking. She almost gets ripped up. Sydney Robinson gets it, pulls out, calls out for a play, gets a screen by Sadecki. Sadecki gets it, going up with a right hand after the curl of the layup. That gives them a lead of 45-36, 7 minutes remaining.
That is the best drive inside the paint that we have seen here tonight. The fact that she caught at the high post and able to work her way. Awful bad pass, might I add. She had to reach behind her in order to grab that.
Bakar with the right-hand layup after a nice fake, like she was going to go as a crossover to the left side to get the screen. Pass out to Moreland Jones from deep. That one rolls out. Reese Williams is able to get the rebound and get a trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, Reese Williams kind of has been like they have on the silent side of things because Reese Williams is their most consistent shooter by far this year. We have doing more work off the bench. So that's their first chance in which she's really made a shot attempt, and this results in trips and a couple of free throw shots. One thing I want to add here, Kadarius, is that the fact that Lawrence Tech, they've not been able to respond on offense after basically the opponents score, but this time around they've had a response for everything that Rochester has thrown at them.
Yes, they have. Reese Williams goes 1 for 1 at the free throw line. Bakar bringing it up the floor, looking to pass it off to one of the wings. Andrews gets it over the top to Melanie, and she goes up for a layup. She is making her way through that post. They really wasn't going to her much in the first half, but here in the second half they are.
And it's all because it's a mismatch. They don't have Kate Jacobs out there, so therefore it's a mismatch down low in the paint.
Ella Hooper for 3. To them a 49-38 lead.
It is basically a shootout here, middle of the third quarter. Both these teams are coming out and they're still firing on all cylinders.
Bakar is trying to waste down some of his time. Over the top to Moore, and she gets a foul call. I thought that Moreland Jones on the back end went straight up. I thought it was good defense, but she is going to be called for a blocking foul.
Yeah, it's one of those like 50-50 toss-ups right there. The fact that the leading pass, basically when Melanie Moore caught it, she was already right in the face of Moreland Jones. So therefore, contact on contact, ball placement, 9 times out of 10, it's more likely going to be called a block.
Moore has been a lot more active here in the second half. She's at 7 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist, but it's really been more about the energy and the shift that she's been creating for the ball to get entered into her and where the ball can now possibly go from the entry pass because she's getting everybody on her back.
Exactly, but the fact that she's creating that open space, and as I mentioned earlier, the fact that Kate Jacobs is not on the floor, there is a significant size difference with everybody else on the floor. And so now, the fact that the Rochester energy has picked up second half.
Pass out for 3. That one misses. Sierra Robinson is able to get the rebound. She's pushing it up the court, up the lock. She goes to her left hand. She kind of gets cut off there by Sadecki. Robinson gets the screen, goes to her left hand. She's getting double teamed. Look for a place to go. Sadecki gets it, going to her right hand, passes it out to Hooper for 3. You heard the entire crowd. Boom! 52-39, 5:56 remaining. And we're going to take a timeout with them as well. And we're back after the media timeout, where LTU is up 52-39.
And right out of the gate, it takes a couple of timeouts, but Rochester, they've been keeping their energy up. They've been still sticking around even though this large deficit.
That was a really good way to break the press by just giving it to Hooper so she could get up the floor. Locke saves it from going out of bounds. Sierra Robinson was trying to split the double team, and it goes RCU's way.
Kind of got away with a foul right there. Tambry Williams really kind of reached in there with the arm. Didn't get all ball, got more contact with anything else. But the fact is that Rochester Christian, they have been able to keep their energy up as we go into a little timeout right here. But the fact that their energy-wise, it is a significant difference than what it was in the entire first half. And the fact that they completely turned things around in terms of energy, but also pace. They were really rushing all their offensive plays, their shots, and the fact that even though this is still a 10-point game, it kind of feels like energy-wise it's like a 2-point game. But the fact that they've been able to keep this deficit here, it speaks volumes as to the changes that they have made out of these timeouts and also after the first half was done.
Yeah, and LTU has been playing as well as they have been, but they do have to watch out because the fact that they are keeping this game close lets you know that they can play with them. It's not like LTU is just blowing them out of the water. They have to be careful about playing against them.
Well, yeah, and then you got to go back to the basics of basketball. Ball security, getting the clean passes off, and they're still going to run full court press, half court press. They're going to try to set the traps, and even in base, around the perimeter, when they set up that 1-3-1 trap style man-to-man, person-to-person, the fact that they're not afraid to press so much, they can leave a lot of space open in the paint. But yet for Lawrence Tech, they have not been able to get those open looks inside the paint for all of this game.
One thing I will say about RCU, they have been pretty balanced in scoring. They have 2 players with 8, and then 1 player, that's Sommers, with 14. Or no, I'm sorry, 11. So you had another 2 players with 4. They've been really consistent with everybody that's been scoring for them. Good defense there by Ray on the back end. Maggie Long was able to get the rebound and push it up the floor. Ray has it out top, going to her right hand, looking for somebody. Locke tries to get it. It's a jump ball situation, and it's going to go to – it's going to stay with LTU.
Yeah, it's going to stay with Lawrence Tech, but the fact that Rochester, they're sticking around, they're getting their reaches in, they're trying to get all ball, they're trying to create those turnovers like, hey, we're not going away without a fight here.
Liv Linden checks into the game, passes it out to Maggie Long. Double jab step. Tries to force the ball in to Liv Sadecki and was able to get a turnover. Sommers from deep. She wasn't able to make that one. LTU gets the rebound, and it's going to go with LTU.
It's kind of strange right there. It was back-to-back jump balls, and yet both times possessions went to Lawrence Tech. It's like they forgot to switch the arrow.
Look at this aggressive press that they have. They were able to get it across court, 3-on-2. Maggie Long from deep. She misses that. Sommers gets the rebound, going all the way to the basket. Right-hand layup to put the lead at 8, 52-44, 3:18 here remaining. Look at how LTU is learning to break this press. Hopper shoots a mid-range shot. That one goes in, 54-44, 10-point game.
The reason that they're able to break that press is because they bring 3 up. They went from 1-3-1 across full court to 3-2 up top, basically in the full backcourt. And the fact that they left more space open mid-court around basically the LTU logo, they've been able to get that open person in there, get that pass off, and work one side to the other quickly and efficiently, I might add.
And another thing we have to look at, they're going across the court. they're not staying on the same side that the press is coming. They're going across the court and going away from the presses so they can advance the ball at a quicker rate.
That time they didn't. They stuck with the same side in terms of near side right here, closer to us. But that really did not work out in their favor. So it's worked, and yet it's knocked. It's still within 10, but yet this could be easily a different game.
Moore passes it out. Summers up top for three. She misses that one. Hopper passes it up to Liv Linden. She gives it off the lock. Left hand, a hook shot from Kate Jacobs, and an ISO post-up gives them 56-44.
That's called not thinking about it. You just catch, drop step, baseline, just lay it in off the glass. That's thinking while on your feet, and Kate Jacobs did that flawlessly.
I want to point out something that they've done now on the last two traps. They have made Ella Hoop Hopper and Kate Jacobs switch so that Melanie Moore cannot be matched up with Kate Jacobs. They're trying to create that mismatch every single time here on the left side of the court.
Yeah, but and it's worked out wonders, really, the fact that they've been trying to go for the mismatches. And as Kate Jacobs got fouled on a double team, Jacobs has been doing a lot better job in terms of posting up down low on Melanie Moore, kind of using her size advantage in the fact that it's maybe a 3-inch difference, but still you got to be athletic, get down, get in that bent stance, able to put the weight of your opponent on your back, but still create that opening for that pass and just be able to work down post.
Kate Jacobs goes to her left hand. That one goes off her foot. Going back the other way, Bakar with a short mid-range pull-up. That one goes right in, puts it back to a 10-point game, 56-46, 135 here remaining. Kate Jacobs gives to Maggie Long, Maggie to Bailey Stevens. Pump fake, right hand layup. See you later, 58-46.
Again, they bring everybody up. More pressure really far into the backcourt. They're giving up a lot more space behind them. That is Rochester Christian. And Lawrence Tech again exposes that space. And Bailey Stevens, for a great job, able to stop herself in their tracks, able to make that bucket.
Big block by Kate Jacobs, but Melanie Moore hits the floor. Kate Jacobs gets all the way back down the floor. She misses that, was about to get her own offensive rebound. I thought that they were going to call that a charge, but they ended up calling it a travel.
Yeah,
and that was really all through the help of Kate Jacobs from that end to that end.
Yeah, but now the officials are going to talk things over, and it looked like they were going to blow the whistle anyway because Melanie Moore's still down in the other end. She hit the ground hard after that block by Jacobs, but then it looked like they were going to give a timeout to Lawrence Tech right there. But I think the fact of the matter is that there's a lot to sort out right here. And meanwhile, head coach Jared Ocampo for Rochester Christian voicing his displeasure about that last play. Definitely a lot happened within that last possession.
Yeah, and I want to say again, I really want to give a lot of credit to Kate Jacobs because even though she missed that layup, she was the reason that was about to be a turnover going back to LTU's way, whether that was a charge on RCU or if that was going to be a travel like it was. And it all started from the block here on this end.
One category in which Lawrence Tech has done pretty well, and that is the blocking category. They're within top 10 of the conference in terms of blocks per game. They're averaging just over 2. And courtesy of Kate Jacobs.
Bakar trying to find somebody going back door. That's a 3 from deep by Andrews. Pushing it up the floor, lock out to Reese Williams from deep. She can't hit. Williams is able to get the rebound, pushing it up the floor. Andrews has it. She passes it out. That's a big three-point shot. I thought that was going to be a miss, and it wasn't. Big shot by Ashley Loom to beat the clock. That's a 58-52 lead for LTU to end the third quarter. We'll be back in the fourth. We are back from a timeout break.
Right out the bat, Kadarius, we talked about it during it, the fact that that third quarter score, the fact that compared to the first quarter, it has definitely gone more in the way of Rochester Christian, as it was 26-11 in terms of the scoring of that entire third quarter by itself. And once again, a great bucket out of the gates.
RCU is about to really turn up the pressure. Look at this press. They were really even lucky to get that up the court. Sadecki gets the inbound and was able to fight off the defender to get the basket up. That's a 60-53 lead by LTU.
The second half has really been more about Rochester Christian finding their groove, finding their strengths in terms of their pace. But then, like you said, the full court press, it has gone against them, but it's also gone with them as well, because it has been basically half and half. Horsetek's been able to get through down the floor very quick and able to get the open looks. But at the same time, Rochester Christian, they've got their turnovers off that full court press.
Over the head to Williams, and that is going to be a shot clock violation. That's a hand clap to the ladies for giving a full 30 seconds of defense.
Yeah, defense in which kept them outside the perimeter. They did a lot of passing, but yet they kept them outside the perimeter. They were not able to break the paint once during that whole possession.
Locke gets through. That's a travel. I seen that about to come.
Yeah,
she was looking for a person to go with the ball with.
You could see her eyes. Her eyes were looking opposite wing, but then the pass went up top key. But yet, right as she was about to make a decision go up top key, that third step came in. easy whistle there.
60-53, 8:43 here remaining in the fourth quarter. Bakar has it up top, looking to pass it somewhere. Up top to Andrews. To the middle for Moore. Moore puts up a bucket. She misses that, gets her own offensive rebound back, and earns a trip to the free throw line with 8:24 here remaining.
Yeah, for Melanie Moore, she went off for a bit with a slight injury, took a hard landing on the hardwood. But let me tell you, Melanie Moore, she's one of the more offensive producers on this Rochester Christian team. When she gets hot, it is really tough to stop this team then. But yet, as we saw, a 25-17, basically third quarter win. This Warriors team, they feed off of all 5 of their starters out there.
And to speak about that, that's why they've been so balanced throughout this game. They have 2 players in double digits. That was a steal by RCU and a shot and miss by Summers. LTU has the ball coming back down. Robinson coming off to the sideline. Passes it off to Maggie Long. She's looking for somewhere to go with it. Goes down to Sadecki. She's looking for somewhere to go with it. Back door to Maggie Long. Looking for somewhere to go. Left hand hook shot. She misses that. That's a rebound by Locke. Whose ball is they're going to get at 2. It's going to stay with LTU.
Yeah, they got a foul on that one. They're going to get Simone Andrews. It was nearly a jump ball foul or jump ball call, but yet Andrews got more of the arm in there to try to hook it underneath.
Credit to RCU for knowing exactly where they were going to go with the ball. This is why after timeouts and under the basket plays are very important. They've completely been running the same type of set to Kate Jacobs, and on that time, it almost burned them.
It did. It's basically almost predictable at this point.
Good running to the left-hand hook. That's one thing that she's shown this year is she can go to the left hand or the right hand, and she's comfortable with both.
One of the things that Lawrence Tech has always done very well, but yet more so try to work on so much in warm-ups and in practices, is going opposite hand. You know, you try to stay on your dominant side, but yet you got to use your opposite hand to your advantage because of all the looks.
Locke gets the offensive rebound, goes up with the right-hand hook, picks up a foul call, and she'll be going to the free throw line as well after Kate Jacobs put up a free throw that she missed.
Yeah, the fact that and one thing Lawrence Tech has also done very well, and probably is the main difference of this game, is the rebounding. The fact that even though Rochester Christian, rebounding-wise, has been very terrific on offense, it's the defensive rebounds of Lawrence Tech, and yet offensive contributions as well. 34 rebounds total over to 31. The fact that the rebounding has been ahead for the Blue Devils, that really is keeping them in front.
She goes 1 for 2 at the free throw line. Bakar gets the offensive rebound, pushing it down the floor aggressively. Passes out to Summers. Step back, Jay! She misses that. Gives it. Kate Jacob gives it off to Sierra Robinson. She throws it up top to Locke. Locke goes to the left hand all the way to the basket. That's a miss. Kate Jacobs gets the offensive rebound, gets it blocked. And now it's a scramble for the ball on the floor. Who is the ball going to go to? And it's going to stay with LTU.
I mean, that is just the calamity of this game. It may be just a 9-point game, but yet it feels like it's a lot closer than that. As the Blue Devils have been able to keep this within 10, 8-10. But Rochester Christian, they have matched their energy and matched their responses on offense.
I want to point out the double-double watch that our own Kate Jacobs is at currently. She's at 17 points and 8 rebounds. Pass ahead to Williams, and she was able to fake out the defense to get an easy one. LTU looking to break this press. Sierra goes over to Ray, over the head. Bakar going to the basket. She makes a easy one that puts the score at 63-58. LTU has to take their time with this press. They get it off to Sierra Robinson. She gets it across half court. That's exactly what they needed. She gets trapped. LTU calls a timeout because she was getting trapped very aggressively here on the right side of the court. LTU is going entirely too slow when it's coming to breaking this press. They need to make sure that they are going how they were playing earlier.
Yeah, but the fact is, and the reason why Paige Wright took that timeout, it's because she saw how everybody was performing-wise. And we talked about the fact that they're using the whole court to their advantage, but that's twice now in 2 straight possessions, the fact that Lawrence Tech has remained on near side of the court, closer to our advantage to get a closer look at it. But yeah, you see the ball control. Watching Abby Ray just even receive the ball. It's all with one hand. You got to use 2 hands. Get the good grip on that basketball. And also the fact that they're missing their passes too late, and then the trap is already there. And then your window of opportunity to pass the ball is basically gone at that point. That resulted in a turnover and a bucket. But lucky enough for Paige Wright, she called that timeout in the last possession right before a possible turnover could have happened, and yet could have been another bucket for Rochester Christian.
RCU has came out and been a different team here in the second half.
Absolutely. The fact that they were rushing everything first half, their shots, their offensive setup. They were trying to push everything in transition. They have slowed down. They've gone back to their basics in terms of getting their feet set. They had 5 traveling calls in that first half. They've had none traveling calls in the second half.
And the girls are coming back out from their respective sides. It's going to be LTU's ball. Locke will be taking it out. And to Bailey Stevens. She gets across half court, passes it up to Kay Jacobs, and she tried to throw it back door to Harper. And I think that she received a foul call. Oh, no, it goes RCU's way.
The official was almost saying like that was an inadvertent whistle, like she didn't mean to call it. But then realizing the ball did go out of play, she had to make a call, and last touch off of Lawrence Tech. So whistle was early, call was on time.
Over to Andrews. She throws it into Summers. Goes baseline, and that's a big block by Kate Jacobs. I don't even think she knew that she blocked it. She was looking around for the ball when it went to the floor.
That's a clean block, about as clean as you can make it. Jacobs is definitely averaging almost close to 2 blocks per game this year.
Bakar is about to take out the ball. Goes right out to Loon. Bakar going baseline, throws it across court to Summers. She misses that. Stevens is able to pick up the defensive rebound. Locke has it, pulls it out. Passes it off to Herpert. Good cross-court pass, and that is over to Maggie Long. She misses it, but Stevens is able to get back into play. She picks up her dribble. Long goes in with the right-hand hook shot, but she wasn't able to come up with a good one.
No, you're good there, partner. The fact that just Jacobs was not able to get that final step in there, but he had not enough height on the shot.
And that was a beautiful setup by Ashley Loon to pass it down to Williams. And Williams just didn't exactly know what to do with it, and it ends up in a traveling call.
Yeah, I didn't want to do the announcer's jinx, but I pretty much did. The fact that I said they had no traveling calls in the second half.
Good break of the press. Reese Williams gets it in the advanced court, throws it over Maggie Williams' hands. Maggie Long's hands.
Yeah, she wanted to crash in, but then Paige Wright is saying, hey, you're having a good time shooting. Stay back a bit. You have more space to work with.
63-58, the last 5 minutes of this fourth quarter for LTU to get out of here with a win in conference. Summers, Bakar has it, trying to split a double team. She wasn't able to. Passes it off to Loon. Loon is going to her right hand. Was trying to get it off to Summers. Didn't. Stevens going up the court. 2-on-1 opportunity. Maggie Long with the left hand. She misses. That's a rebound by Andrews. Passes it off to Williams with a right hand layup on a fast break.
Too strong on the finish for Maggie Long. The fact that she went too hard off the glass, that basically you could see it was going to be a roll-off from there.
That was a good way to break the press, going opposite side and going to Maggie Long. Liv Sadicki with a fadeaway from about the free throw line. That gives them a 65-60 lead, 3:58 here remaining.
That was a good jump shot mid-range within the paint. It's the first time that any player on Lawrence Tech had decided to use that method to their advantage.
Williams was there on a slip. She was screaming that she wanted the ball. She now has a mismatch with Maggie Long being her matchup. Pass it out to Bakar, and she shoots a mid-range, goes in. 65-62, 3:34 here remaining. Stevens gets the ball, passes it, advances. Long has it, goes across the court to Locke. Locke goes to her left hand, passes it out to Stevens. She pulls it out, goes and splits the double team, almost does. Williams is in advanced court by herself, right hand layup, 65-64, and we have a timeout at 3:09 here remaining.
The window has basically been shut. We have a 1-point game. Lawrence Tech had done a tremendous job of responding on offense, but yet it was a matter of time before that full court press really caught up to them, because it was just turnover after turnover. The fact that their passing has been decided on way too late. They kept running into the traps. And the fact is that Lawrence Tech, they've been doing fine just breaking through, just able to get clean passes off. And the fact that they're still being outscored here in the fourth quarter, 13-7. The third quarter outscored 25-17. They had just edged Rochester Christian. Second quarter, 17-15. You saw at the end, it was a last-second buzzer beater by Rochester Christian that gave them a little fire going into the locker room at halftime. And now that fire is carried out, as we've seen it all throughout the second half.
And everything that you said is extremely true here. LTU has to be extremely careful. We have a 1-point game here with 3:05 here remaining. And that's a poke out by Bakar. She's up top. She's playing aggressive defense. They trapped the pick and roll, and that's exactly what they were supposed to do. That was picked up by Sommers, and they're going back the other way. RCU has the chance to take the lead here on this next possession.
Yes, they do, and they got exactly what they wanted. The fact that they set the trap. It wasn't a full court press. It was regular standard press outside the yard, keeping them around the perimeter. We had Liv Linden decided to drive nearby along that sideline, and just ran into it, ran out of a window to pass.
Bakar goes and she steps on the baseline. That was really good defense to keep her shielded off to make sure that she couldn't go back the other way.
Yeah, Lucky able to keep arms up and wait back. Back was completely straight, therefore still keeping that tight, closed net defense, but yet forcing her opponent out of bounds.
Coach Paige Wright is going with a different lineup here at the end of the game. Sierra Robinson is playing in crunch time. Maddox Locke is able to get the offensive rebound, go up, and they still hold the lead 67-64, 2:18 here remaining in the fourth.
Right now, within these final minutes, ball control and ball security will be the key for Lawrence Tech if they want to win this game.
Maddox Locke is probably one of the best on-ball defensive players on this team. So anybody she's matched up against, I trust. Pass over to Sommers for 3! And that's a 67-67 game tied. RCU has fought their way to be back into this game.
J.C. Sommers is having herself a day. shooting an even 50% from three-point range. Cool and Chris, 38% just from mid-range, but the fact that she's had her chances, she's had her looks, 19 points on the day. The fact that she keeps producing at an elite level, that's what kept Rochester Christian in this game. And she had a good first half as well. Started out hot with a great block on defense, and they got a couple of three balls in there, but that one was the crucial one. And now this is a brand new ball game with minimum time left.
Speaking to LTU, the biggest thing that they said that they needed to do was value the ball and limit turnovers. And if we look at the turnover battle currently, the points off turnovers is 21-14 RCU's way. RCU was able to get a steal there and push up the ball up top to Andrews. Looks off to the wing. Summers gets it back up top. Passes it off to the wing to Andrews. Going opposite of the screen. Pull up from the mid-range. That gives them a 69-67 lead. And man, do we have ourselves a game.
We do. Simone Andrews, it was a matter of time before her shots were going to fall from mid-range, and she got her chance.
Sierra Robinson from the three ball. That puts LTU up by 1 point, 70-69. 48 seconds here remaining.
And that was redemption because she gave the ball over on a turnover last possession, and that was just a redemption three right there.
Oh, that was a wonderful strip there by Abby Ray. And Reese Williams is looking to just slow the offense down. They have 23 seconds here left on the shot clock, on the play clock. Abby Ray passes it out to Reese Williams. They're playing the hot potato with the ball. Sadecki needs to go somewhere with a mid-range shot. She misses that. Sierra Robinson is able to get the ball, and it's 14 seconds here remaining. LTU possibly has won themselves a game. Maddox Locke pass it off to Sierra Robinson, and LTU is able to call a very smart timeout.
They were able to call the timeout because Rochester Christian did not foul. They have a couple of fouls to give right there before it goes into the bonus. They ran themselves out of time. But also the fact that Abby Ray, she had a clear lane to go with an add-on bucket, but yet they did a very dangerous tactic right here, Kadarius. They still kept the hot potato going. They kept the passing going. They wanted the clock in their favor. A 1 point game, and you play keep away while the shot clock was still going on. That is a very dangerous tactic rather than going for the extra points to at least make it a 3 point game to force Rochester Christian to shoot a three ball. But now you got 7.5 seconds. You got to get this ball inbounded. Rochester Christian, they're going to foul because they have to in order to keep possession right back. But yet they've got to do multiple fouls within the 7.5 seconds. So a dangerous tactic, but Lawrence Seck somehow was able to pull it off.
And they've done everything that they should do. They have to make sure that this is a clean inbound. They have to make sure that this is a clean inbound because everything is going to come down to possibly this inbound play.
It is, and they've had their struggles. They've had their struggles all year with inbound plays, and the fact that this is going to be from the sideline, not from underneath. So therefore, it could be a dangerous tactic, and the timeout was called. Paige Wright obviously drawing something up on the whiteboard. Just being able to prepare for the most important 7.5 seconds to get possibly their third conference win and to lower the chances of Rochester Christian getting into the tournament this upcoming weeks.
Giving big credit to Sierra Robinson for bringing it down the floor, getting over to the corner, and shooting that deep three. That's exactly what they needed at that point. As you can see, Sierra Robinson is in the back court. She's probably going to come up the court to try to get it. Look at her sleeping back court. I wish Maddox Locke would have saw how sleep Bakar was on the back door. Sierra Robinson was slowly creeping up and would have beat her all the way back door to the rim.
But the reason why they stayed near side here is because they don't want to give up space. They want to force Rochester Christian to try to go the whole length of the court if possession goes back to them.
That was such a risky throw. That was such a risky throw. And I blame that on the fact that there were no motion for anybody to get open. Everybody was just on their player trying to throw it out to their open arm. They needed to set up something. They needed to get a screen so somebody could get open, so there could be a complete pass. That was way too risky of a pass, especially over a bigger defender.
Well, not only just risky of a pass, but just the play setup. This was too predictable. They've been running this the entire game. Normally with Kay Jacobs, but yet Maggie Long was the intended target. The fact that it was just a little dump-off pass over the defender by the baseline, the fact that you're trying to get it over, but yet it's too easy of a double team. They basically just gave that one away, and now, wisely, Rochester Christian head coach Jared Ocampo, he calls the timeout with possession. They've got 4 seconds to get a bucket, just one bucket, and that's the game. That is the game. So there are a lot of different scenarios this could have played out for Lawrence Tech, and most of them probably went against their favor. But right there, that might be a big dagger.
70-69, 4.1 seconds here remaining. LTU threw such a risky pass.
They did. And the worst thing that they can do, probably the best thing really actually to fix the statement, they only have 2 fouls in this fourth quarter. They can foul and first force another inbound play, force another 2 inbound plays. They've got fouls to give, in which can kill more time off the clock. That's basically what they can do.
I say that you put Maddox Salak on Bakar and you say, you're not going to get in to receive this ball. You put her on either Bakar, and they have her on Andrews, which is another really good matchup.
That's what the matchup they want.
They're going to run a down screen to Andrews. Bakar travels, and the refs don't call it. The refs don't call it. If that would have been a good shot by Andrews, that would have been surprising, because that was a bad travel non-call by Bakar right here on our sideline.
I mean, it could have gone either way, but regardless, Lawrence Tech comes away with a victory, their 3rd conference win, and a crucial one against a pretty tough opponent, and that just sets back Rochester Christian. Might put them down further in the standings, but Lawrence Tech, they have just put together probably their best offensive display all year. Not only just with a 24-point first half, but also the fact that they just kept going. They kept hanging with Rochester Christian because they gave them a battle, especially after the 3rd quarter when they put up 25 points and held Lawrence Tech to 17. It is just incredible the fact that this team was able to withstand all the turnovers, all the bad passes, and they come away with a win.
Almost 30 turnovers here tonight, but they do come away with a win. I'm Kadarius Flowers, along with John Snow. And we thank you for taking a look in with us here at LTU Network. Until the next game of this doubleheader of the men's and women playing next time.